Building a vehicle for values. Going beyond conventional planning strategies. Here's a simple observation. In most cases, your high net worth and ultra high net worth clients did not achieve their success by accident. The content of their characters contains the key elements that are responsible for that success, elements such as ambition, determination, patience, daring, and intellect. In my 20 plus years of chronicling the life journeys of the highly successful, I've observed the following universal attitude. Simply put, I want something better. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means generally a dissatisfaction with the way things are. They want something better than the status quo. They want something better than what the other guy has. That's basic competition. They want something better for me financially, which is obvious, but also better for my industry, better for my profession, better for society. It is this constant drive for excellence and improvement that accounts for the success encountered by our clients. So, this desire for excellence also extends into a client's planning, into his post-life planning, his estate planning. If you have not yet had this conversation with your client, you're probably going to have it soon. That's the advisor on the left, and that's the client on the right. And he says, we've set up trusts to avoid probate. I want something better. We've taken care of your planned giving to your favorite charities. I want something better. We've created a family foundation. We've set up trusts for your grandchildren to avoid generation skipping transfer tax. I want something better. So you may have actually delivered a message such as this to your client. Words to the effect, we have worked with your financial advisors, with your tax accountants, with your family office experts, and your lawyers to make sure that your assets gets passed on to your heirs and to your favorite causes with a minimum possible taxation permitted by law. Well, that's nice, but I still want something better, and I better explain. So what does this mean? What is the client looking for? The client is looking for this. You see, what I'd really like to leave behind is some portion of my identity, of who I was, of the type of person that I was. Something more than just a cold tombstone. Was I a trust account? No, that's not me. I'd like my heirs to know that I was a person with beliefs, with morals, with values, and yes, with flaws and with shortcomings. And just like the way that my parents bestowed their values upon me, I would like some means to do the same, to leave my heirs a legacy of true value. Now, wouldn't that be something better? Well, here's the situation. A growing number of high wealth clients are seeking something more meaningful from their post-life planning. And they are looking to their trusted professional service providers and their advisors to assist them. Take a look at this. This is from Advisors Magazine, and it points out that a recent Alliance Pulse survey asked baby boomers to rank priorities when passing down an inheritance. And by a significant margin, the results showed that a much greater desire exists to pass down their values than their valuables. Let me highlight that. A much greater desire to pass down their values than their valuables. Passing down their family history and stories ranked highest with a score of 86%. They actually quantified this in a survey. While in sharp contrast, leaving a financial legacy ranked lowest in priority at only 10%. A financial legacy ranked much, much lower than leaving a family history and that sort of legacy. So this seems to be the trend. Here's just an illustration of the desire among the growing generation of high wealth individuals of placing their values at a higher priority than their valuables. So, how do we react? Just as clients look to you to construct a vehicle such as trusts and foundations and insurance policies, etc., that will deliver their valuables safely to their designated beneficiaries and to avoid such hazards as probate court and creditors and the IRS, they are also increasingly looking to you to construct a vehicle for values. This is something that there is a growing desire to achieve. Now, there are many arrows available to place in your quiver that will effectively hit this target. One of the most precise is the creation of a book, a personal memoir. Something like this. Let me give you a case history. Back in 2007, I assisted industrialist and philanthropist Jim McCormick in producing this dynamic memoir book, an account of his life and also his personal philosophy. Jim passed away in May of 2017. Here's just the opening paragraph of his very lengthy and impressive eulogy and obituary. Meet his daughter. Here's what she had to say. Dad was generous. He left his estate to me and to other family members and to the causes that he believed in. But the most treasured asset he left us was his amazing life story. Long after the dollars will have disappeared, his heirs will still know who Dad was, thanks to this book. So, a growing industry, a cottage industry, I guess you could call it, of memoir publishers has emerged recently thanks to the advances in publishing technology, such as print on demand, for example. These providers, and I'm among them, work with clients in fashioning an enduring literary legacy that will serve to preserve a person's life story, but more than that, preserve the continuity of a family's cherished principles and values. That's the point. A simple Google search will yield an assortment of such services. But as with any referral, it is critical to vet such providers thoroughly prior to directing a client to them. You need to check them out. Your goal should be establishing a long-standing relationship with a reliable and capable provider to whom you can direct future clients down the road. Here's just a few samples of the type of thing that's available online. There are freelance people, there are companies, there are all types of different options, ghostwriters, what have you. Look them up and check them out. Writing a memoir book, by the way, is not the only choice here. There are options, and thanks to today's technology, there's an abundance of other types of vehicles for recording and preserving a client's life story. Not everybody wants to write. Not everybody wants to create a book. But that doesn't mean they should forego recording their life story. Here's an example, a video interview. Just sit in front of a camera and interview the individual, the person about their life, to just recollect about their lives in an informal fashion. This can be done with an iPhone. It's not complicated. Here's another option. Set up a Zoom chat turn on the video recording so it automatically records what's going on during the Zoom, and have Grandpa share his life story, and then he can answer questions from younger family members. And then you preserve that video and you can edit it, and highlights could be edited to create a lasting video testament that will endure for generations. It seems trivial, but it's very valuable. Whatever the vehicle, the goal is to preserve a record of the client's life and his or her ethical beliefs. They should be presented in a manner that future descendants will find attractive and engaging. In other words, not boring. Doing this will increase the chances that your client's descendants will someday become the clients of your descendants. I mean, let's face it. Our long-term objective here is multi-generational continuity. And this is a vehicle that will achieve that will get you there. to create that generational continuity that we feel is essential. Finally, when making the case to your clients about producing their memoirs, ask them a simple question. Ask them this: if I could somehow magically produce an autobiography, a book written by one of your own grandmothers, describing her life in her own words, would you read it? Would you be interested in it? Invariably, the answer will be yes. And here I am. Here's Peter the magician, and here's Grandma's journal. So that was not something that was an option in Grandma's day. It wasn't so easy to write a book back then, but today it is, and there's no reason not to do it. No good reason. So, in the same way that your client would be interested in reading his or her grandmother's life story, your client's heirs will also feel grateful to them for having passed down their legacies in this way. And they will also feel grateful to you for providing the vehicle that made it possible to do so. And for looking beyond traditional wealth management services and by helping your clients transmit the truly priceless assets of their lives, their family histories, and their values. I want to say thank you, and I'm prepared to take questions at this point.